reporting from the line that separates the SDF. I'm here at an open detest. Say they are here to fight for it. The cross-border shellings may have stopped, but this is a triangular spot which connects Israel, Lebanon and Syria. I'm standing in front of one of the Bamiyan. I travelled to Ukraine in the last week of October to report on how this ongoing war is reshaping lives. Nearly 4 years into Russia's invasion, the fighting shows no sign of ending. The attacks have only intensified, but so has Ukraine's resolve. In this story, I want to introduce you to a special group of women who have taken up arms to defend their country. It's not just men defending Ukraine. Across the country, thousands of women have joined the armed forces, many on the front lines. I traveled to Bucha, a small town in the outskirts of Kyiv, to meet the Witches of Bucha, a group of women who have become an essential part of Ukraine's air defense. This is a secret training camp hidden deep inside a forest. Here, the women spend hours practicing their aim and testing new equipment. Every exercise here prepares them for the long night ahead when they take up real positions. These are the Witches of Bucha, an all-women volunteer air defense unit in Kyiv. Every night, they have one mission: to track and shoot down incoming Russian war drones. In Ukraine, there's hardly a day or night without air alerts. As the war drags on, Russian drones and missiles strike Ukrainian cities on a daily basis, hitting residential buildings, hospitals, thermal plants, and even schools. There was a time when Ukrainian women couldn't even join the armed forces. That changed after the full-scale invasion. Today, there are around 70,000 women in the armed forces. Around 20,000 are in combat roles. The Witches of Bucha, or volunteer sisterhood, have become a symbol of that transformation.
We're good.
Yeah. Why did you decide to join Witches of Bucha unit?
All Ukrainian women are witches somehow.
When these witches fight, they are unstoppable. What does she want the rest of the world to know about Witches of Bucha and what she's doing?
What we are doing is very important. It is also dangerous. But I want the world to know that we are ready to do everything to help our country.
Bucha saw one of the bloodiest chapters in the early days of Russian invasion. Russian forces captured the small town just 25 kilometers northwest of Kyiv as part of their push to encircle and seize the capital city. Bucha became the symbol of Russian brutality. It is here in Bucha that Russian forces committed some of the worst atrocities of the invasion during the beginning of the war. For 2 weeks, Bucha was under Russian occupation. Ukrainian troops finally retook the town in March 2022 after fierce fighting. The images that came out of Bucha after that was horrifying. Dead bodies littered the streets, homes were shattered, hundreds of civilians were executed, women were raped, many were tortured and killed. Even after 3 years, war crimes investigators are still uncovering new evidences here. The horror left deep scars on this community, but it also gave rise to a new kind of resistance. As men went to the front lines, many women in Bucha chose not to flee. Instead, they volunteered to defend their town and to guard their homes. Out of that determination, the Witches of Bucha Air Defense Unit was born. Alyona is a doctor. She helps rehabilitate wounded veterans. She is also mother of 2 teenage boys, aged 15 and 18. What do they think about you being in a military unit and shooting down drones, taking night duties.
I joined this unit to stop the destruction of my country. I want my children to be able to sleep peacefully at night. When the war began, every night I would lie awake, wondering if my boys would wake up alive the next morning. One day, Alyona said she decided to stop being scared and start doing something, and she joined the unit.
Most of these women had no military background before the full-scale invasion began. But now they're donning different hats. During the day, they are dentists, doctors, manicurists, and bakers. And at night, they don their body armor, they take up weapons, they head to the woods.
Valentina is a veterinarian. She's 52 and mother of 3 children. She joined the unit almost a year ago along with her best friend Ina, who's a teacher. Both survived the massacre in the village near Bucha. Valentina took shelter in the basement of her apartment. Ina fled to a neighboring village, which was safer. When the best friends returned, they decided they want to fight for their country. For months, Valentina hid her military uniform from her husband and children, sneaking out for training without telling them. When they eventually found out, they didn't stop her. I spent a week hiding in the basement of my apartment with my 12-year-old daughter when Russian troops came to Bucha. We barely had anything to eat. I knew that Russians were doing horrible things to women and young girls. I was scared for my daughter. When the town was liberated, Tanya decided she could no longer stay on the sidelines. She joined the air defense unit because she believed every Ukrainian should do something to bring victory closer. Before asking for help, Ukrainians must show the world that they can stand on their own. Driving through the city, I could still see the remnants of the terrible days Bucha had endured. Destroyed buildings, abandoned homes, and fences riddled with bullets. Bucha is free from Russian occupation, but the war in Ukraine is far from over.
Behind me are hundreds of civilian vehicles, burned, twisted, and abandoned during the Russian invasion of Bucha. Most of Bucha has been rebuilt, but these vehicles still remain here as a silent reminder of the horror that tore through this community.
Every night, when Russian drones and missiles hover over the Ukrainian skies, the witches stay awake. Deep in the forest, they take positions and watch over the skies.
This is my second time in Ukraine. The first was back in April this year. What still surprises me is the courage and conviction of Ukrainians to keep fighting despite everything they have lost. Efforts so far have failed to resolve this conflict. The United States has stepped up pressure on Russia, but Putin insists that he wants to take control of the Donbas region, a demand Ukraine has firmly rejected. But Ukrainians tell me one thing again and again, that they will keep fighting and they will never bow down to Russia. I'm Anjana Shankar and you are watching my channel Ask, where I decode conflicts, crisis and global politics, one question at a time. If you would like to see more such ground reports, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.